Hey, how's it going, everybody? So in this video today, I want to go ahead and talk about some Battlefield 1. Now, I want to go right off the bat and just say that I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty over the past couple of months. Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Remastered, and Black Ops 3. And I have never really been that big of a Battlefield player. I've never been someone who's been overly obsessed with the Battlefield franchise. I've played Battlefield 3, I've played Battlefield 4, but I haven't put any serious amount of time in either one of those games. It's always been kind of play for a couple of hours and then fall off for a couple of months, come back, things like that. As opposed to Call of Duty, where I played for months on end, pretty much every other day, and it was really consistent compared to how I played Battlefield. And I just want to talk about my experience, my overall thoughts on Battlefield 1 so far. I have about a good 15 or 16, I think maybe even 17 hours into the game, and I just started playing like last week. So I have some things I want to talk about, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this. Now, first off, I want to touch on the time to kill. Now, coming from Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, time to kill in those games was just so fast. Generally in Call of Duty, the time to kill is pretty quick unless it's a Treyarch game. And in those games, Infinite Warfare and COD 4 Remastered, you were dying so fast that you couldn't even see it happen. It was just instantaneous. Bow! You just die and that's it. It's so quick in those games. In Battlefield 1, it's not like that. And to be perfectly honest with you, I love that. I love the fact that it actually takes bullets to kill people. It actually takes skill. It actually takes for someone to aim their gun and shoot at you for you to die. I actually like that. And in this game, it takes a good amount of bullets to drop someone, and especially from a distance, it's going to take some time depending on the weapon that you're using. And I really found that is more enjoyable to me personally than how Call of Duty's been doing it for the past 10 years now, where for the most part you relatively die instantaneously. It's just pretty quick. And the time to kill in this game, Battlefield 1, it's awesome. I love, like I said before, I love how it takes bullets. It actually takes skill to kill someone. So time to kill, it's glorious. It's wonderful. I really wish Call of Duty would actually take notes from this Sledgehammer in their next game. Take notes from this because it's just so nice to really, when you've been playing Call of Duty for as long as I have, and you come to Battlefield 1, and then you experience how the time to kill is, and along with a couple of other things, you really start to appreciate that, and you really would kind of wish or hope that Call of Duty at some point would implement that, because it's just awesome. So, next, moving on, I want to talk about the maps. Now, there are a couple of maps. I'm not sure of the exact name of every single one. I should at this point, but I just don't. All the maps, I would say, are actually pretty good. To be perfectly honest with you, I am actually happy with all the maps in the game. There are some better than others, but for the most part, I actually enjoy all the maps. And for a first-person shooter, that's rare, because there's always at least that one map in the game where I'm like, nope, I'm not playing that, and I just instantly leave the game or whatever it may be. But in this game, I don't have that. I enjoy every single map. At least I do now, and I'm a good 15 hours in. I feel like at this point I would know of a map that I dislike. In Black Ops 2, I knew of the maps I disliked on day one. It didn't take any time at all for me to know the maps that I absolutely despised. So now, like I just said, maps are pretty good. We're going to go ahead and move on from that. But my overall opinion on the maps in Battlefield 1 is they are just really good. They're solid. The design is just flawless. And one thing, for a World War I, I don't know much about World War I, but this game, it's almost like giving a history lesson, and not just from the guns and the way the story played out. It's also from the environment. You get to see a lot of the landscape of how things were, and in so many different aspects, and I just think it's really cool. So overall, the maps are awesome. Now, moving on, as something I just said before, I want to talk about the World War I setting and just the entire atmosphere. Now, I played a little bit of the campaign, not too much, not enough to give you an overall opinion on it, but I want to say that starting it off, it's awesome, it's brilliant, it feels like a movie, it feels really cinematic, and not the 24 FPS cinematic. I mean like a movie cinematic where the experience is rich, the gameplay is full, and it's what you look for. It's what you should look for in a first-person shooter, and I just think think it's awesome. You know, like I said before, I've never really known much about World War I, but this game really gives you a lot of insight. It's like a giant history lesson as you play it, and I feel like it's something that we don't see often in games. I mean, when's the last time we had a World War I game that was a AAA title? I mean, it's been a very long time. Very long time. So the World War I setting, I think it's awesome. The atmosphere is great. I love how the campaign spans from very different parts of the war, you know, throughout the world, and I think that's really cool. You get to see different sides, and it's not all about, you know, America and all this and that. Like, you get to see, if I'm not mistaken, there's the Germans, there's man, I'm really not 100%. It's the Germans, there's the Americans. I think it's Hungarian, or the other one is the other. See, there's a couple more that I'm forgetting, but there's pretty much the game pretty much spans across different parts of the war, and you get to see different sides, different nationalities, and it's just really nice to see. It's really nice to get a history lesson as you play a good game. It's just awesome. That's all I can say about that. The World War setting and the atmosphere, it's awesome. It's rich. I don't know much about it, but when I play it, I feel like I'm learning more and more, and I get to see different sides of what the world was like back then, and it's just awesome. Just completely awesome. So far, I'm really loving that. Next, I want to talk about the guns. The guns really have character. And now you're probably saying, how does a gun have character? What exactly does that mean? Back in the day, 2011, 2012, Black Ops 1, a lot of the guns in that game had character. You can use wacky guns that were, you know, that they were bad in a sense, but if you knew how to play with them, they were good. So I guess they actually weren't bad. But pretty much what I'm saying is guns having character are wacky guns, or just random guns or weird guns that you can use that are actually viable in situations, not guns that are completely pathetic, like the Uzi from I think it was Black Ops 1. It was really bad. But guns that have character. I love like the Akimbo Scorpions. You had the Mac 11. You had so many different guns that were so wacky and weird and different. And you can play with them and you can actually do well because they were good guns. It's based around the player. And a lot of the guns I found in this game have character. Now, I have been using the Automatico for a while now because I'm really trying to rank up my Assault class to get the Hell Regal, but from what I've used in the Medic class, from what I used in the Support, and a couple of other classes, I found that the guns really have character. They're really unique, and they're awesome. They feel great, sound great, and it's awesome. That's pretty much just the best way I can put it. It's just awesome. The guns have character, feel good, sound good, everything you would want in a game. They sound a lot better than anything I've heard in a Call of Duty game in at least 6 or 7 years, and that's being completely honest. Okay, now let's move on down to the sound design. Now, the sound design is something in this is just something flawless in this game. I mean, the sound design is truly top notch. I have never heard a game sound so good. Well, besides Resident Evil 7, that game, and Outlast, I would say in terms of like sound and ambience, this game is spot on. When you put on a good 7.1 surround sound headset and put the war tape features on, it sounds amazing. I mean, the sounds of pistols in this game sound so rich and they feel awesome. I've never been one to really compliment the sounds of guns in video games, but no, Battlefield 1, man, it is impressive. Okay, it is absolutely impressive. It's awesome. Like I said, sounds good. The guns feel great, and when you pop off a round, no matter what gun you're using, you feel like you're doing something. I mean, it just sounds so great. I really applaud their sound design, from the explosions to the men yelling when they say capture the objective or spotted an enemy shock trooper, you know, whatever they say, it sounds like it's right there. And the footsteps sound great. You can hear enemies walking all around you, but it's not sound whoring like in Call of Duty. You can pinpoint where they are, but it's not to the level of like SitRep Pro in Modern Warfare 3, but you can really hear everything. It just, everything sounds so rich. You can throw a grenade and hear it go, like, you know how you throw something that kind of spins? You can hear that spinning sound when you throw it. It sounds awesome. Just unbelievably, like, incredible detail right there. That's something that they really have. I've noticed DICE has always really been good at is sound design, because another game that they made that had really good sound design was was Star Wars Battlefront. You know, say what you want about the game, it was bad, whatever, not that much content, but the sound design in that game was truly authentic and it was incredible. So Battlefield 1, amazing sound design from the pistols, LMGs, shotguns, assault rifles, SMGs, everything sounds so good in that game. That game, if you're a huge audiophile, you are going to be extremely pleased with the sound in this game. Now, moving on, I want to talk about the ranking system. Now, the ranking system in Battlefield 1 is actually pretty good. You know, I've been using the Automatico for a good, it feels like 5 hours now, and I've been using other guns as well, but it feels like it's taking forever for me to get like level, I think it's rank 10 to unlock the Hell Regal. Right now, I'm grinding for the Hell Regal, and it's taking such a long time, and I love that because the amount of time that I've put into this game, I feel like I could have probably already prestiged in Black Ops already. Like, I mean, it's so cool that it's actually taking time. I like for the game to feel like I'm grinding. I want to be able to, you know, play for like 8 hours and stop and be like, oh god, I'm almost there, but I'm not there yet. And I just like to feel like that hard work is actually moving towards something. I like to feel like I'm grinding in a game, and I like it to feel like it is actually making a difference. I like that feeling of, like, you know how you go to work and have a long day at work, come home and you're like, oh god, I'm so glad I'm off. I like the same thing in the video game. I like to grind it out and then be done and be like, yes, I finally got it. And like kind of just wear that kind of like mental honor, or just kind of carry that weight with you. Like, you know, you feel like a sense of accomplishment. You wanna feel that as you play through the game, or as you finish playing the game, or whatever the case may be. The game has a really cool ranking system because it just takes, from what I can see so far, it takes a pretty long time to get to that max level in your rank, or in your class, or whatever, you know, ranking up the classes. It takes a long time to get there, and I just think it's awesome. At least it is for me. Maybe you unlocked it faster. Maybe I just suck at the game and don't even realize it. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm enjoying that aspect of the game, and I think it is absolutely awesome. So, moving on, we're going to talk about the multiple classes. Now, there is Assault, Medic, Support, and Scout. Now, I have not played Conquest or a bunch of these other games. I played some Operations, but mainly I played Domination. I find it to be the most enjoyable game mode, and a lot of the classes I enjoy the most is Assault and Medic. I'm gonna fool around with Support because I want the bar, and there's also the Scout, which I think is primarily for snipers. I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, like I said before, the classes are really cool. They all feel diverse, and none of them feel like carbon copies of each other. You know, that's something that I'm not gonna say worried about, but that was something that I used to always kind of just wonder about in the back of my mind, because Battlefield has always done a good job of mixing things up with their classes, not making, you know, everything doesn't feel exactly the same. And since they were going back to World War I, I was kind of afraid that they would run out of fresh ideas, and a lot of things would kind of feel rehashed and just the same. But no, in this game, it's really not like that at all. A lot of the guns feel very different. They feel unique. They feel like they have, like I said before, they have their own character to them, and it just works. Like all these different classes work. They all feel different. They all feel like they have a purpose, and I just love that so much. Now, I want to talk about the last thing, one of the most important things as well, is, well, actually no, we're gonna, before we get to that, I want to talk about graphics. The graphics are really nice. On the PlayStation 4, the game runs at 900p, and I believe it does as well on the Xbox One, and on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it runs at 1080p 60 FPS, and PC, it runs at whatever your hardware is capable of. Now, also, I like to mention before, Xbox and PS4 also run at 60 FPS, and it's pretty stable for the most part. Now, on the PlayStation 4 side of things, the performance is kind of, it's stable, but it could be better. Now, on the PS4 Pro, the performance is actually pretty darn good. It's not perfect, like it's not a locked 60 FPS, but it is very, very close. It's a very smooth experience, so if you're worried about performance, don't be. The game runs smooth. There are no hit. I rarely ever get any kind of hitches, if at all, and it just feels smooth, runs smooth, and even when there's lots of, you know, alpha effects on the screen and there's lots of gas, explosions, the frame rate holds up perfectly fine, and it's just the PS4 Pro and, you know, doing its thing. And like I said, on the other consoles as well, I haven't played on Xbox One, so I can't really speak on that, but You know, the game, it runs smooth, it's steady. It's not a locked 60 FPS like, say, Call of Duty, but it's really, really close, and performance is something that you really don't have to worry about. Now, the last and most important thing I want to go ahead and talk about to wrap up this commentary is the solid gameplay. Now, I feel like this game, the gameplay in this game is awesome. You know, the ability to spot people, and some of the guns are a bit, you know, annoying here and there, but the gameplay is really smooth, it's solid, it's very reminiscent to, Battlefield 4 in some aspects, not like a 110% copy. I would say, if anything, Battlefield 1 feels a little bit like Star Wars Battlefront, just a little bit. And I think the gameplay is solid. The maps really cater well to the kind of gameplay that is presented in a game like this. Like, it feels great. I love how you can also, now keep in mind, like I said, I've played a lot of Call of Duty. A lot of these features aren't in COD, so, you know, I'm gonna be referencing Call of Duty just a little bit here and there. But, you know, I like how you can spot enemies. You know, it's something you can't do in Call of Duty, but I think it's really cool that, you know, there could be someone across God knows where, you can spot them. I love when you're capturing an objective, it says that, hey, look, you know, if an enemy's on the objective, it's like, yo, there's an enemy on the objective, you know, you probably should watch out for him. Now, the announcer doesn't say that, but you can see it on the top of the screen where you're capturing the objective. You can see like a little red, what would I call it? Pretty much you'll see a little red small thing over your meter telling you there is an enemy on the objective, so you have to obviously find him and kill him to finish capturing it. Now, if it's only one enemy and it's a lot of your, you know, teammates on there, you will still continue to hold the flag, but if there's more enemies on there, then, you know, more enemies than you have teammates, then they will capture the flag. And you know, I'm not going to go through and talk about every single gameplay detail because this will probably be an hour-long video, but I love those little things that, you know, that they do in this game that Call of Duty doesn't do, like spotting. And, you know, I know some of these things won't cater to Call of Duty that well, like spotting and also other minute features like tanks and things like that. I get that, I understand it, but I think by and large, well, tanks really wouldn't hurt COD if they went back to the the way they did World War II, but pretty much, yeah, just the way that Battlefield does a lot of things, I'm a really big fan of. I mean, the game is just solid. It's great. It's fun. I have a blast playing it. I'm going to play after I'm done with this video. I mean, it's just a very well-rounded game. And if you have not played it, I highly recommend it. It's such a solid game. Definitely a 9 in my opinion so far. This is coming only from the multiplayer. I haven't finished the single player. I probably will at some point, but now I just haven't got around to it. But so far, definitely one of the best shooters I've ever played. It's just a solid game. I enjoy the living hell out of it. And there really isn't many things. I don't think I have anything to complain about so far. Like, I'm actually cool with a lot of things. Now, maybe when I put more in, maybe when I have like 24 hours into the game, or maybe 2 days, whatever, I'll be able to talk about things I hate. But right now, I think I'm probably just going through the honeymoon phase. Everything's great. I'm loving it. I'm in love. I'm happy. And things just couldn't get any better right now. So that's it for this video. That's my overall thoughts and opinions, or I guess reviews. Well, yeah, thoughts and opinions of Battlefield 1. I don't think it's safe to call this a review because all of the content is not out for this game. I'll be able to give it a review once, you know, once all the content has been released for this game and I can fully talk about everything. But as of right now, my thoughts and opinions of Battlefield 1, it's a great game, solid, definitely worth $60. Definitely. Great game. If you want to see some more videos, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and I will be happy to provide. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a bit on the long side, almost pushing 20 minutes, but yeah. So again, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a great day.